And on the upper left for Mystery Gaming, the Slayer of Maru, taking him down 2-1. His name is Cyan.
And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right for Dragon Kitesy Gaming. It is herO.
Feels weird it feels weird to cast a mirror that's not a TVT. You know?
It does. It does a little bit. It's we've done three TVTs on this first day. We've got 5 more ahead of us over the course of the next 2 days. But is this our only PvP? I think we have one in one of the other groups, maybe 2 actually.
I think we might get one of the Firefly PvPs. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of TVT. It will be a lot of TVT. But I enjoy the ability to change things around just a little bit because, especially as there's no max packs in this series, PvP can be fun. It can give you it can give you mid game, early game, late game, and importantly, because these are not players that are Cyans. See what I did there? Of the one gate expand builds.
Scions.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, what? Science. Cyan. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
This is not going to be one of those games where someone tries to get a quick expand and the other one feels like they need all in them to either win or lose based off that. Which does give us, oddly enough, a little bit more stability into the matchup as they play more aggressively, but they don't feel like they have as much pressure to be as aggressive as, against Max Packs.
Yeah, Max Packs really does put that pressure on you to either A, kill him, or B, try and match him at his own game, which he is so good at. Like, Max Packs' PvP, I don't care if it took a relative dip. For me, it's still, like, the greatest PvP of all time. Like, it's ridiculous how good he is at the matchup. But it does sometimes feel like his matches can almost be not boring, but he's so strong that it feels almost predetermined is a better way to put it. Like, it's going to be exciting how it happens, but he's going to win, whereas in the double gate versus double gate meta, things get a lot more wild and a lot more crazy, and it's very difficult to predict. We're going to be seeing Stargate versus Stargate, and that is likely... Oh, wow. Cyan actually shades forward and... Okay.
Cheeky.
He snipes the probe and recalls out. All right. Oh, cute. Nice job. Body blocks the shade of his opponent with his own Adept shade, and actually might go hunting here. Yeah. Oh, no, that's a dead Adept.
That it is.
Should be. Hello?
Should be.
He actually missed... he missed the shot. Oh, never mind. Shades forward and gets the kill.
So I do think the important thing, though, that herO is able to see is Stargate. Did he build a Phoenix, or no, he briefly considered building a Phoenix, cancels a second Oracle on the way. But more importantly, he saw the amount of Adepts that were on the map. 2 is not crazy. 2 is pretty standard in a lot of openers, but going up to 4, it's important to identify that because that absolutely can get a ton of damage done. You want to make sure, Cyan is not gonna... I thought he might try to go block the wall or something. He's not gonna go for that. And now herO, he's going to have to contend with these Adepts in the natural. By the way, there's nothing blocking his wall. There's nothing even prepared to block his wall. And Stalkers are in the main base. The Oracle's not going to get a ton done. Here come the Adepts. It was only 2 Stalkers. I think you complete that shade. The Oracle was going to find you anyways as you try to shade away. I think you complete that shade,
It is a lot of... Oh my goodness. He's actually going to kill the pylon. I did not expect him to cancel that shade, and neither did herO. This is it's a very strange little set of plays with the Adept shades. Both the decisions to not go in and then also to go in. Both players are on double Oracle, so there is a ton of potential for either one of them to find a huge bit of damage, but instead they're actually just going hunting for each other's Adepts. It's a very... That's just like the weirdest usage of Oracles. That's so funny.
In the annals of PvP, this is certainly one of them. I don't think I've seen a PvP start like this in, I'm not going to say ever, but in quite a while. Like, this is not what I'm used to my PvPs looking like. This is not what I'm used to. Like,
they just pass each other.
They can't touch each other.
Double revelation? Hey, yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
After a
it's not just that we never see it, it's that it somehow ended up almost dead even. Like, it's just, there's a very small worker lead for herO, but they're both getting into Blink. They're both going up to 4-gate Blink. I mean, it feels like they're almost on a Discord call being like, okay, now you do this, I'll do that. We do this, we meet in the middle, we revelate each other. You know, like, it feels like synchronized swimming or something, you know?
Yeah, this is like, you know, there are horror movies where someone runs into a mirror and the mirror keeps mirroring them until they don't. And you're like, oh crap, that's something on the other side of this. I don't like this. That's kind of what it feels like, where you just have the boogeyman that's doing exactly what you're going to do left and right on the mirror. And eventually one of them is going to do something a little bit different. And then you have to make the decision. Am I the boogeyman? Are they the boogeyman? Are they afraid of me, or do I have to be afraid of them? And for right now, they're still in that mirroring phase. The hand goes up, and the hand goes up, and the hand goes down, and the hand goes down. And now the oracles are going to go around Stalkers, trying to blink on top. One oracle will fall, but it's 6 dead probes for Cyan. Bit of a worker lead. Is it worth the loss of an oracle of this game state? Probably.
With no shield battery yet built in the natural mineral line, I think it is worth it. It's not like getting 6 probes when your opponent's on 1 base and they're only on like 20 workers or 25 workers. It's not, you know, you've killed a quarter of their economy or whatever, not 80% of their economy, but you've killed a much higher percentage relatively of their economy. But it is still a nice find. Whenever you mentioned that mirror thing, and it definitely made me think of The Last Jedi, and how they were just trying so hard to be artsy. Oh, as I say that, Cyan misclicked, shot his own stalker. Oh no, just like The Last Jedi in theaters, absolutely flubbing it.
Shooting itself, not necessarily in the foot because stalkers don't have feet, but you know,
yeah, that was a holdo maneuver if ever I've seen one. Jeez.
Definitely in the equivalent, because, you know, Steadfast, if we could shoot our own stalkers this entire time, that breaks the entire immersion of things, right? You know. Anyways, oracles are gonna
just
dive
fire
in.
a stalker through hyperspace at the enemy fleet. Like, why not?
Why not?
So stupid. Misclicks happen. It sucks, but that would have been a really nice pickoff for Cyan. He could have gotten one of those oracles. Actually, he might have another opportunity. Stasis ward. Oh, didn't cancel the stasis ward, so he ends up just losing one of those oracles. You can cancel a stasis ward, by the way, in a situation like that, and it will let you get that oracle out right away. But now it's 1 oracle versus 1 oracle, and we're back to mirror, baby. 20 stalkers to 19, 1 oracle versus 1, 58 probes versus 58, and their +1 timings are very similar.
Okay, there is one difference, and it's actually a pretty big one. Cyan just started his charge. herO's got his charge done. Charge lots, again, +1 charge lots against this stalker ball are actually really nice. They don't die to stalkers all that easily. Stasis traps, that's, you know what I was going to say, stasis traps are good. Science is good, Rainer's is so much better. The question is, though, can you actually punish this? herO doesn't really seem to be posturing to do so. He's not going to find...
I think it's because Blink is still available.
Yeah.
It's only if Blink has already been used.
Oh. Is he looking... No, okay. I was like, man, is Cyan going to blink on the high ground? Is this the biggest brain play I've ever seen out of herO? But no, it's not really going to happen. So 4th base on the way for both sides. There's a recall. The depths are going to try to find their way in, but they only get 2 probes.
Is playing so well.
He is. But he's still a tiny bit behind in this game. So stalkers are going to get on top of some of the stalkers of herO, as herO does get backwards. But, well, we haven't seen him. His charge is so much faster, Steadfast, and we haven't seen him take any advantage of it whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think he knows that his charge is necessarily faster. The game has been super mirrored. He did lose those probes earlier on. herO is a player that plays with a lot of confidence. Actually, this is really interesting from herO. He's adding on a Templar Archive, which is something we don't often see in this matchup these days anymore. Going for Archons here. We are going to see herO with more stalkers blinking on top of his opponent. Will get a good couple of trades. I'm very surprised by the addition of Archons. Not necessarily that it's a bad play, just they're expensive, and you're hoping your opponent has gone charge lots. And in this case, we do see Cyan is starting to add some of those zealots.
Nice target fire there on the observer, and that just means herO is going to hold the high ground for that much longer. Now, Steadfast, we are starting to see more and more deviation as this game goes on. Devil Forge for Cyan, Single Forge for herO, Dark Shrine on the way for Cyan, Templar Archives for herO. we are starting to diverge just a little bit more. And, you know, honestly, double upgrade Dark Shrine, I like that a lot more than a random Templar Archives. I mean, yes, Archons are good against these Zealots, but you can make the decision just once you see the Archons out, you can say, I'm going to build more Stalkers. This is fine. I'm going to have DTs elsewhere. I'm going to build a ton of Stalkers, and my upgrades are just going to be better than yours. So that's what I expect to see out of Cyan, but he is getting trapped in here. He's got to find a way out, and seems like he should be able to worm his way out of here, as he just has his Blank Stop cooldown just a little bit faster, but...
Oh, that wasn't it.
No, not really. Moving him right up through the middle. I thought he was going to try to run around and maybe get a recall. Running right back home just means he gets caught out. And now herO, he's actually down a little bit in army supply. His economy is significantly better. And he's moving into Disruptor. Okay, so he's going to move into Blinkstalker Disruptor behind this. There's a very slim chance that he adds on a bunch of Colossus against the Charge Lots, but that seems very unlikely. Instead, we're kind of pulling back the curtain. We're looking back in time because we're seeing Charge Lot Archon, we're seeing Blinkstalker Disruptor. All of this stuff is kind of fallen by the wayside in the matchup just a little bit.
It certainly has. We have Cyan being the one, more aggressive with the movement. Will depower battery overcharge and depowers and cancels the warp in. But he's still going to have to disengage here. We got a big Zealot run by on the top side with Immortals and an Archon. This is actually a really funky little setup. Cyan has lost a lot of supply. He will get in on top of these Immortals, so it is going to be a bit of a throwaway, but as reinforcements of herO show up from the backside, never mind, it's not a throwaway. This is an army crush. And herO, after a very close game for a long time, suddenly finds a weakness in the armor. Cyan really kind of throwing away a lot of units with his aggression. Finally gets caught out and pays the ultimate price, and herO's pretty much got this one in the bag at this point.
Yeah, they say the supply does not lie, and sometimes it does. This time it does not. 119 army supply to 56. No, you do not get to make that run by. That is a bunch of Zealots warping it right on time. So even though Cyan, he's got better upgrades, Steadfast, at this point, it does not matter. It does not matter at all. herO took the one good fight. He has won this game. And Cyan, he may have taken down Maru, but he will fall down 1-0 in this series. He has to tap out, disrupt a shot to put insult to injury. And herO, he goes up 1.
And he rights the world just a little bit, you know, like this group of death. If Cyan had ended up, and it's still possible, still very possible, especially when we look at the kind of like early stages of the game, that looked very doable for Cyan. He was not in a bad spot going into the even later stages of the mid game. And there was definitely opportunities for him, but definitely herO, a little bit of normalcy returning to Group D as he goes up 1-0 here, and expectations being met. But I mean, there's still a lot of series ahead of us, and Cyan did not look bad in that opening setup.
Yeah, no, he really didn't. He had interesting ideas, and you know, I think it is a great compliment when we talk about a player who is up and coming. You know, he is not herO, he's not Max Packs, he's not Classic, he's not, apparently even Stats is looking pretty good this weekend already. He's kind of that tier below, punching up, but he's able to, like, through the first 7-8 minutes, he's able to mirror one of the best PvP players in the world. He's able to do that. The trick is, though, you have to do more than just match it, right? You have to find, and if you're going to take down herO, you can't just do what he does. You got to find some angle where you're going to do it better. You're going to harass better than he is. You're going to take fights better than he is. You're going to develop your economy better than he is. Just playing the exact same game he's playing up until the point where you stop keeping up is a great way to look impressive, but not a great way to win a series.
That is actually a pretty good way of putting that. Now, granted, maybe he is very confident in his Stalker Charge Lot style, and maybe he feels that he could have outperformed herO, but we certainly didn't see it in game number 1 of this series. That doesn't mean we won't see it. But we also didn't really see herO going for Blinkstalker Charge Lot so much. It was mostly Blinkstalkers. He got the charge upgrade, but he went straight up into the Templar Archives, and then pretty quickly got a wall at the 4th base, established a very quick 5th, like really powered hard on economy, and then also went for a very quick disruptor transition and kind of played unhero-like, if that makes sense. That's not to say herO can't play that way. It's that his reputation is one of being a much more aggressive player and not really going for a more defensively oriented high-tech style. At least it's not what I think of instinctively. And I mean, herO's like, well, okay, that's too bad. I do it anyways. Like, I'm still really good at it. You know, you may have a certain image in your head, but it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure that I would say that that is not how herO plays. Again, I haven't seen a lot of hero's PvP recently. For whatever, we get a lot of PvP in online tournaments and open cups. I just have apparently managed to dodge a lot of it. But in general, when we talk about how herO plays, it's a lot of chaos, right? It's a lot of opportunity. But going Blink Stalker Disruptor, which is what he ended up doing, that doesn't really feel anti-hero to me. It's a very micro-heavy composition. It's a very multitasking-heavy composition. Going mass gateway into it. I mean, he got charged, but didn't really use it all that much. Like, I know you're saying it doesn't really feel like herO, but I don't really get that feeling for me. So I guess my question for you is what would have felt more like herO then if this didn't feel like herO?
Committing harder to charge lots early on and trying to hit early timings and being the one who was trying to harass, because it was actually Cyan who was the one who was trying to find an opening with the oracles and trying to slip in with the adepts. And, you know, committing to a double forge style, which is, it's, yes, granted a different matchup, but that is something that herO was doing in PBZ when he came up with that 4-gas Zealot Stalker style. It wasn't right away that he implemented the double forge, I don't think, but eventually it did get added in, and that's the kind of thing. He loves beefy gateway units. But yeah, we didn't see that. And it I don't know. Also, I look at the wall and I don't think of herO as like a player that tends to turtle as much. And something about the wall on the 4th base made me feel just like a little bit more Showtime-esque, you know?
Fair, although I think back to the way he was playing against Zerg players 2 years ago at this point when he was developing that herO style, and it was all about the walls everywhere and all about this multitasking style. We have all the Blink Stalkers at the front, but you know you're getting more than that, right? That's just to make sure you keep yourself safe. So I don't hate it. I think if you're a favorite against a player, just play very standard, and if they beat you, that's fine. They're probably not going to do it 3 times in a row or 2 times in a row. Anyways, we have hard lead. It's game 2. Can Showtime win his first game against herO this year? Let's find out. In the upper left, in the red, down 0-1 in this series and down 0-14 in maps played this year. For Mystery Gaming, it's Cyan.
And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right. Playing just solid. In game number 1, it is Dragon Kaisi Gaming's herO. But yeah, there was still some bright spots for Cyan there in game number 1. He stopped the Adept. You know, he found a couple of probes with that first Oracle. It definitely maybe some nerves showing a little bit when he shot his own Stalker instead of being able to snipe down that one Oracle. Like that would have actually could have affected the game in a pretty profound way, because maybe he finds the second Oracle when it drops a stasis ward as well, and then there's no big stasis ward in the middle of the map, and then it's maybe Cyan finding herO, you know, with his 5 Stalkers, and things get a little bit out of control, and we could be looking at a very different scoreline going into game number 2. I'm not saying that would have happened, certainly not saying that, but I'm saying it could have potentially gone down that way.
Okay, I'll buy that. Although Steadfast, I think you're kind of maybe
I'm reaching. I'm reaching real far.
From the same canister that the Shopify Rebellion account was doing in one of Scarlet's game earlier. Now she won the series. She was very down in game 2. They were huffing so much copium. They acknowledged it, and I think you're just from that same tank. It is not impossible for Cyan to win a game. But 0-15.
It would be a first this year.
Yeah, I was kidding. Since last not this year, not in 2024, since last Katowice. 0-15 does tell a story all of its own.
Yes. And the thing is, I'm like looking for ways like, okay, how can he do this? You know, like what needs to happen? And honestly, we don't need to see a necessarily drastic change from what happened in game number 1. There were moments, is all I'm trying to say. And I think I do definitely favor herO for sure. But we'll see. Oh, nice spot from here. We'll find the double adept with one of these stalkers. Now, 2 adepts do beat a stalker, and herO actually just gonna stick around. Cyan will shade away. That was a little bit of a bait from herO because he actually didn't send anything to reinforce this one stalker. If Cyan had just canceled the shade, that might have just been a dead stalker. But instead, herO's like, no, I know you're gonna shade. And he goes hunting for the shades, and we'll be able to find one of these adepts. Nice scout from Cyan, sees that it's a follow-up of sentries, but a good force field going to keep this at bay. And will this be a dead adept? No, I think it's going to survive with 2 HP. Nope, does go down. All right, good job from herO. Good cleanup.
And look at what we see coming out of Cyan as well. This is a very quick robo coming down from Cyan. And yes, there is a Twilight behind this, and that's going to unlock some things, but this is some aggression getting ready from Cyan right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Warp Prism first popping out of this, or I guess Observer, then a Warp Prism, getting that fairly quickly. But for now, again, game 1 was, I put my hand up, you put your hand up. I put my hand down, you put your hand down. We're very much we're doing the same jig in the mirror. This time, it is very different. It's going to be certainly the Robo first, and both players are going to get Robo and Twilight, but herO's going to have his blink so much faster than Cyan ever will, that it tells us, maybe there's something else in the docket right now. Maybe there's Cyan's got a different approach to how he wants to do things.
I think he just didn't see the Nexus right away because he did have the Adepts kind of corralled away. And so he was maybe worried about herO going for a very aggressive 3-gate blink stalker, or pardon me, not even 3-gate blink stalker, 3-gate robo play off of one base and just trying to kill him. That's something that herO loves doing. He's really potent with it. And obviously the micro of a player like herO is, well, it's legendary. So you don't want to be caught out by that. And I think he was just preparing for the potential of that kind of a push.
Fair enough. Well, for now, we're kind of all in the same spot, except, well, Cyan's blink's a little slower. That is wherever you want to look at it. At the end of the day, means herO can feel very comfortable in taking his third base. Cyan's going to get his as well. But what we're looking at is blink is done in 15 seconds for herO, and he is not one to let timings go to waste. In fact, he's got 4 stalkers and a hallucinated Venus. He wants to dive in the main base. He wants to maybe get a couple probes, wants to get a pylon, whatever it is. He's got this opportunity. He's got the timing right as blink is done. Let's see what he's going to be able to find. So right now, probes are going to get targeted down. A nice warp in is going to body block things. But again, there is blink. You can run away from it, and it's going to be 4 dead probes, immediate recall. Not a single thing goes down. Well done, herO. That was, again, he hits his timings.
That was clean.
That was very clean.
And a really nice little move from herO is that he sent the hallucination to the ramp to spot what was coming. He's like, okay, do you have something here that I need to be extra concerned about? Or can I do what I did, which is to say blink further into the main base and then recall? Because I think if he sees, if he sees an army very close, very in position, he maybe just backs away a little bit faster. We're going to see herO finding a couple of stalkers of Cyan. The blink of Cyan will try to save these stalkers, but 2 of them do go down. That's a very nice pick off for herO. And this is I was mentioning in game number 1, there was opportunities for Cyan. In this case, in game number 2, herO's the one who has expressed and found all these opportunities. He's going to find an Immortal on its own. That is going to be a huge pick-off. He doesn't even blink for it, so he will be able to get out of there. Cyan will go hunting. And he's going to be able to get at least 1 stalker on the exchange, so it's better than nothing, but it is still a rough situation for sure.
I mean, look steadfast. While there are some skins that make Immortals look like Stalkers and Stalkers look like Immortals, I will still gladly trade a Stalker for an Immortal, even if they look similar. Yeah. So, like, Cyan, not only, by the way, does he lose the Immortal, only get a single Stalker for it, he actually wastes a lot of that Sentry energy. He drops the 3 force fields, drops a 4th one after hero's already out. Not sure what was up with that. Maybe it was a buffered input. But anyway, so at this point, his Sentries, he's got 2 of them. They're lacking in energy that might be useful for the coming fight, and hero's just getting ready. He's got his charge done in about 20 seconds or so. He's got this warp in ready to go. He's all in the middle of the map, and he's up about 15 army supply. Yes, there are immortals there, and Cyan is setting up a decent concave, sure. But once charge is done, that kind of invalidates the majority of tech that Cyan has.
Yeah, this is not good for Cyan. herO skipped to Forge. He's going to blink right in on top of the natural. Battery overcharge will get popped. A little misclick on the Nexus there from herO, which means that the Immortal is going to survive for a lot longer than it should, but it's not going to matter too much. The decisive move from herO is going to be very effective. Battery overcharge already on cooldown. herO blinking to the right side. He's just got way too much army supply, way too much production. I like the zoning zealots as well. And Cyan, oh, very nice force fields. We will see a blink back. There's just way too much stuff here for herO.
Yeah, you know, herO, even with targeting one of his own stalkers down and doing everything else, it's too much. He built too much of an advantage in the early game. He was just too much on top of things and slowly picks things down to the point where Cyan cannot defend anymore. And that means that the world writes a little bit further as herO knocks down Cyan, and he takes his first series win. It's not dead yet.
Yes,